Hello, passionate football fans, and welcome to the Overthinker Podcast. Today we have the picks for Week 4, as well as a couple of prop bets I liked. Not quite as many as last week, just weren't as many that looked good to me. There were quite a few last week that got close to hitting, but we only wound up hitting one of them. Okay, so for tonight, Thursday Night Football on Prime Video, you do have the Dolphins and Bengals. Right now they have Bengals favored by 3.5 points. I would take the Dolphins right now. I think they're just playing better football. And I think offense has been a little bit difficult for the Bengals throughout the season so far. They've not scored more than 27 points, I believe. And I just see the Dolphins probably scoring more than that in a typical game. I really think the Bengals are going to struggle to score more than like 30 points. And that's probably going to lead to them losing a game like this where they might have to score 30 or more. And yeah, I guess it depends how Tua plays with his back injury or concussion or whatever happened last week. But I am expecting this to be a pretty good game over there on Prime Video. I'll be streaming on one of those streaming websites. But yeah, I would be surprised if this isn't a good game. And it's nice to have some good games on Thursday Night Football. And then we have Vikings and Saints. The Vikings are currently favored by 2.5 points. I would take the under in this game, 43.5. Just seems like a bit much to me when I'm not really expecting the Saints to score many points. I think the Saints might score like 10 points in this game, and the Vikings could probably win by 10 or more. But I still think it's likely to be under 43.5, probably. Unless Kirk Cousins throws the ball like 45, 50 times, which is possible. But I would take the under. That just seems like a higher total to me. And overall, totals have been a little high this year. Games have just been going under, and totals have been too high. I think this is a game that's not as bad as some of the ones I've seen, but I do think 43.5 just seems a little too high. And then we have Browns and Falcons. This is another game where I'm not really sure about the total because the Falcons at times have been able to really move the ball. And yeah, this is a tough one because the Falcons have been really good versus spread. And also the Browns have won some games they probably shouldn't have. And really, they lost that Jets game to a really weird scenario there at the end. But I think I would take the Browns. I think they're a better team. And I think they'll win, I guess, by more than 1 point, probably. That is a tough one because I do like the Falcons right now. Then Commanders and Cowboys. We have the Cowboys favored by 3 points. I think they clear that. Probably. I think they have been playing complimentary football with their backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. And, with the way Carson Wentz has been playing and that pass rush from the Cowboys, I could see this game getting kind of out of hand. But I think the Cowboys should win by at least 3 points at home here. The under also looks possible. But, the Cowboys could get some explosive plays in there with their receivers. And this could be a game where Zeke runs for 100 yards or something like that, probably. So, yeah, we will take the Cowboys to win by at least 3 points. And then we have Seahawks and Lions. You have the Lions favored by 4 points. I believe they came in favored at 7 points a few days ago, and this has changed. I would take the over in this game just because the Lions have scored quite a few points in each one of their games. And I think if the Lions have scored at least like 30, and their defense isn't really that good, so I could see the Seahawks scoring 18 points and the Lions scoring 30 points. I do think the over in this game is probably the bet. And this should be a good one. Hopefully the Lions win. And then we have Titans and Colts. The Colts just somehow upset versus the Chiefs. And going into this game, they are favored by 3.5. And then you have the Titans who played kind of well last week. And then you have the Titans who barely beat the Raiders last week. And the Raiders might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And Titans kind of struggled there, but did come away with the W. So this is an interesting one. I think 43 points doesn't seem like a lot, but both of these teams have really struggled to score points at times. So, this is a tough one. I guess I'm really not sure. I will take the Colts just because they beat the Chiefs. I really don't have another reason. I didn't really watch much of that game. I watched a bit of the Titans game, and the Raiders just looked really bad, so I'm not really sure about this one. I guess I'll take the Colts. And then we have Bears and Giants. The Bears are 2-1. The Giants are 2-1. And I'm really not sure if either of these teams are that great. But they both have 2 wins. And I guess I'll take the over in this game. 39 points just is not much for an NFL game. Even though this game could be something like 11-12, I will take the over in this game of 39 points. It would probably only take a couple big plays to make that happen, and maybe Saquon has a nice day, hopefully. Then we have Giants and Eagles. This will probably be the best game of the week, possibly. And then we have Jaguars and Eagles, two really good teams right now. They're playing very well. I would take the Jaguars. 6.5 points is just a lot for a team that is doing pretty well right now. Even though the Eagles are kind of steamrolling teams, the smart bet would probably be to take the Eagles, but I would take the Jaguars. Just because I think this game could be fun, and I do think they probably won't get blown out, so I would take the Jaguars. Then we have Jets and Steelers. You have the Steelers favored by 3.5. I'm not really sure why I would take the Jets in this one, even though I don't think either team's really that good. The Jets look poorly coached. The Steelers are not playing Kenny Pickett for some reason. Trubisky's not been that good. Yeah, I don't really think either team's great, but I would take the Jets to possibly upset in this one. And then we have Bills and Ravens. This could be really a good one. Lamar playing really well right now. Is probably the leader of the MVP race so far. But, Josh Allen could take that back in just a couple of weeks. He certainly has the possibility to make that happen with his arm and running around. He makes a lot of really good plays. So for this game, the Bills are favored by 3, and there's an over and under of 51 points. Yeah, I guess I really like both of these teams, but I would take the over just because with the Bills secondary right now, they have some injuries. Micah Hyde, unfortunately, is going to miss the rest of the season. That really sucks. He's a fun player to watch. And hopefully they get Jordan Poyer back, but even if they do have him back, they'll be down a safety. And I think that could lead to some more explosive plays from the Ravens. And, the Bills can throw the ball as well and make things happen downfield. So I think 51 points definitely could go over in this one. Okay, then we have Chargers and Texans. You have the Chargers favored by 5, and that's really tough. The Chargers scored 10 points last week, I believe. But yeah, the Chargers should be getting back Keenan Allen this week. It looks like he's going to play, so I think taking the Chargers by 5 points does actually make sense in that scenario. I think the Chargers win by at least 5. Then we have Cardinals and Panthers. We will take the Cardinals right now. They have been playing a little bit better with Marquise Brown, and I think it's going to lead to more points for them. And I think they're a lot more talented on offense than they have shown throughout the year so far. And Kyler Murray probably has a very fun game, and I think they do win this game. Then we have the Patriots and Packers. You have the Packers favored by 9.5 points versus the Patriots. That's insane. But they are going to be without Mac Jones this week. I do think they actually cover this game. I know that sounds crazy. I do think it's possible they cover, but I will take the under in this game just because the Packers typically aren't a team that's going to keep throwing the ball when they're up by 10. They're going to start running the ball a lot more. And if the Patriots can't get anything going on offense, I definitely think this game will probably go under. So 40.5 points seems like too much to me when it's only the Packers on the scoreboard. I would take the under in this game. All right, then we have Broncos and Raiders. Looks like two of the most fraudulent teams in the NFL so far. I mean, I want to say AFC West right now looks like definitely not the best division in the NFL. It's probably one of the worst, actually. The Raiders didn't look good last week. I would take the under in this game, 45.5. I think the Raiders could have the ability to score some points, but I don't know about the Broncos. It doesn't look like they're going to be consistently putting things together on offense, and I think they're really going to struggle to score more than 2 touchdowns in a game this year, probably. And it kind of sucks. I do like a lot of players on the Broncos, but things are just not working right now. And they need to figure something out on offense because they're making it way too difficult. They have so many good players. Then we have the Chiefs and Buccaneers. This should be a fun one. Mike Evans will be playing this game, I believe. They possibly will have Julio Jones back. I believe I heard online that this is like the 6th time or 7th time Mahomes has played against Brady, which is kind of insane because Brady has only played against Aaron Rodgers like 4 times or something. But yeah, throughout the years, those games have been pretty good. And yeah, I think I would take the Buccaneers at home this game just because they're at home. I don't really have another reason. This should be a really fun game. I I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. 46 actually seems like a little high to me. But I will take the Buccaneers in this game to basically win. Then we have Rams and 49ers. 49ers favored by 1.5. I will take the under in this game. The 49ers have not been scoring many points, and I think the Rams will probably win. But there's a chance that they don't, just because between these two teams, the games have always been interesting. And there's been times that the Niners have blown out the Rams. There's been times that the Rams have blown out the Niners. And there's also been times where it comes down to the last play. So I think taking the under in this game makes the most sense. The Rams at times look really good on offense, but also at times don't look good at all. And the Niners, I don't really think have the ability to score more than maybe 15 points most weeks. So I would take the under. 42.5 seems like a bit much to me. Okay, and then getting into our prop bets for the week. I only have 4 this week. Not quite as many that I thought were kind of valuable. A lot of matchups where I don't really see many points scored because you just have 2 bad offenses basically duking it out. And in those kind of games, you don't really get a lot of points, obviously, and not many touchdowns. So I will take Devin Duvernay plus 215. I mean, I think he scored a touchdown every week. So plus 215, just those odds are pretty solid, especially when you look at Bill's secondary, possibly allowing some more points. Devin Duvernay definitely is a good one for me. And then you have Mark Andrews plus 125. I mean, he's getting like 12 targets a game or more, pretty much. He is definitely the number one in that offense for the Ravens. He is their number one receiver, and he's going to score a touchdown most weeks. So basically, you're doubling your money if he scores, actually more than that. And basically, that's a pretty good proposition. You know, I would take that one. Then you have Christian Watson plus 700. They do have Romeo Doubs for plus 180, and they're going to keep giving him opportunities, I think. I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't really trust him yet, but I still think he's going to get on the field a little bit and get a few opportunities maybe every week, probably like 2 targets. But plus 700 with the talent that he has is just a good bet for me. I mean, that means like basically, yeah, that just makes sense to me. Plus 700 is basically to 8 times your bet if he does score a touchdown. And yeah, the Packers really just don't have many other options on offense other than obviously A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones and Romeo Doubs. So I am also going to take A.J. Dillon plus 130 just because I don't see this game being that close, and I think the Packers will probably try to run the ball if they get up. And yeah, I do think taking A.J. Dillon plus 130 is solid. So yeah, we don't have quite as many prop bets this week, but I think going forward, there's probably not going to be as many that I like just because the markets have adjusted a little bit. And also, it really depends on the matchups, you know, what you expect to happen in games and the kind of game flow that might happen, and how they might value certain players. And also, you can look into like over and unders of like receiving yards, rushing yards, and stuff like that. But typically, I think with those kind of bets, there's just so much stuff to analyze. I think it would just be too much for me to really think about that kind of stuff for every game. Maybe if I pick like one game, you know, I can do a good job. But like if I'm looking at all the games, I don't think it's really possible for me to discern that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. I might make a video with like a parlay I like for the weekend. I got really close on the one I had last week. It was like a 10-pick parlay, and I basically just needed Pat Freiermuth to score a touchdown, and I would have won $7,000 off a $5 bet. And last year I had like 5 of those, so I got really close to making a lot of money last year, and hopefully I get one this week, you know. And if I keep throwing them out, you know, those $5 bets, eventually I might hit one. Actually, I probably will. I do have confidence that I can identify certain edges in the market at times, so I do think I'll probably hit one, and I'll probably be sharing maybe one every week or every couple of weeks if I really like one. So that's pretty much it for me today. I will catch you in the next video, probably looking at the Lions matchup versus the Seahawks.
When I stumble in the darkness of broken words, and I can't see the end, every step is getting harder.